All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. So, the only quality you need to be a good leader or to lead others or to pursue leadership is the ability to induce certainty. Okay? What does it mean to have the ability to induce certainty? It means that you are able to bring structure and order to chaos. It means that when everyone else is trying to figure things out or is looking to others for guidance or everybody is just freaking out, you're able to calmly, assertively lay out a step by step plan, allocate responsibilities to others, and oversee the execution and delivery of objectives as communicated before. But most importantly, is having the ability to fix and address any problems or bottlenecks as they come up. Doing all of this helps you induce certainty. In essence, you being able to problem solve for others and really having the answers and acting like you do have the answers and know what you're doing gets others to follow you. That's the real essence of leadership. And there's a lot of ways you can do this. It can be through having a particular skill set. It can be through having a particular body of knowledge. It can be through having access to a certain network of individuals or affiliations. The list can go on. But the idea is that, again, you are certain of what you're saying, what you're doing, and what you know. And giving this feeling of certainty or projecting it onto others is what gets people to follow you and elect you to be in a position of leadership. And the more chaotic and the more unknown or uncertain a situation is, and the more certain you act in these circumstances, the stronger your frame of leadership is. Okay? Because the person that is able to pull others together out of certain, uncertain, random, unknown terrain is the person with the strongest frame of certainty. And people want certainty. So they will follow your frame, meaning that they will take your leadership. They will accept your leadership. They will follow your leadership. Okay? And there's a few examples of this. Let's start with dating. Okay? One of the biggest ways guys get turned down by women is because when they approach a woman, they tend to be anxious, they tend to be nervous. And this, by the way, apply to all men of all ethnicities, socioeconomic background, it doesn't matter, age bracket, etc. The reason a lot of these guys, they could be multimillionaires, they could be extremely handsome, tall, like 6'4", athletic, and still get rejected is because when they approached the woman, they displayed anxiety and unsureness, which communicated to her uncertainty. This guy is not certain about who he is and what he is doing. And the number one thing a woman is looking for is certainty in a man, because certainty communicates security and ability to lead. So yours truly has made this mistake, and a lot of guys have made it and continue to make it. And even when you are aware of it, you still make that mistake sometimes. It's not every day you're going to have your A game on. But the idea is, in this scenario, when you are approaching a woman, she is looking for a leader that leads her towards emotional, physical, psychological security. Okay? And she needs that because if she ends up getting pregnant with his child, then she's assured her security and the security of the child as she is incapacitated by the child. So she is looking for certainty, okay? And she's looking for certainty in the form of leadership. So that's one example where you have to project certainty. This is why you'll hear women say confidence, but a lot of guys get confused with, what do you mean by confident? I'm a multimillionaire. I'm 6'4". I'm athletic. I drive a Lamborghini. I own a mansion. I travel to Europe every summer. Why are you still rejecting me? This is what she's looking for. You can have all of these things, but if you do not communicate that you have the ability to lead her, by communicating certainty in your identity and your ability to take care of her, guess what? You're going to get rejected. And this one stings. It's personal, I think, to every man out there. But this is really what you're lacking, the piece you're lacking. And the truth of the matter is, you are most likely a good leader. You're just not communicating it with certainty. You're not giving the certainty around your leadership abilities, which is why you get rejected. Okay? So that's one example. Another example is if you work in a corporate job, okay? And you, let's say for a fintech, and you're rolling into a new market, pushing out some new products, and you want to capture more market share, and you work as a product manager, and you're looking to lead a team of product designers to come up with new offerings so you capture more market share. Within your team, the team member that comes up with a detailed product roadmap, frame wire for a product, and lays out minutia and data-driven details on the new product offerings, this is the team member among your whole team that is displaying leadership. And this team member is displaying leadership because they provided you certainty in the form of new products that are supported by data and the details of these products from A to Z. By providing you certainty, this team member has displayed leadership qualities, and because they took the initiative and the burden and the onus upon themselves to put in the effort to develop the new product roadmap and to present it to everyone, risking, rejection, their reputation if they look like fools, or even risking their jobs if a product doesn't work out, they provided certainty in an uncertain situation, and they took the risk upon themselves in doing so. So that's another example where certainty is a driver or an indicator of good leadership in a job role or position. Another example is for someone that is leading a country, okay? If, let's say, there's a hypothetical pandemic, and within the country, the leadership comes out to the populace and says, we have no idea what's going on. Anarchy would break out. The whole populace, or at least a good portion of the populace, would freak out. Chaos would break everywhere, and basically conditions of uncertainty lead to deterioration. However, in a situation like a pandemic, good leaders know that they need to provide direction, they need to provide comfort, and they need to provide solution to the problem at hand. And they do this by projecting certainty. Certainty in the form of coming up with an action plan to tackle the pandemic, the steps by which they will act to battle the pandemic, and what they expect of their populace to help and contribute to tackling the pandemic. And you've seen this during the previous hypothetical pandemic, where some countries that offered their people certainty were able to mitigate the pandemic faster and maintained their economic and daily life rhythm with minimal interruption. For the countries that weren't able to do that, a lot of conspiracies spread. There was mass hysteria, there was fear, there was a lot of issues that arose out of that uncertainty because the leadership in these countries did not project certainty and direction. Okay, so they were not able to lead their countrymen and citizens out of these uncertain times and pandemic conditions relatively quickly. Okay, so these are different examples, you guys, on the really important quality. The most important quality about leadership is inducing certainty. As a matter of fact, it is so important that there are people out there that are leading others with very minimal knowledge or real life practical pragmatic skill simply because they're able to induce certainty. They are so good at convincing you that they are able to do what they do, that they create the certainty within you that you're willing to let them lead and follow them. So, certainty is your most important quality if you want to be a good leader. And that's pretty much it for this upload, you guys. Hopefully this has been helpful for some of you out there. As per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.